Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to DotaPit League Season number 3. We are well underway with the draft here for our third game. Of course, this is a best-of-3 series. Ninjas in Pajamas versus Moscow 5 International. The winner will go on to face My Insanity in the winner's bracket. Loser goes down to the loser's bracket, and they will have to play some more games to try to qualify. Top 2 teams in these qualifiers will move on to the group stages for DotaPit Season 3. We're 2 days in, and there has been some absolutely amazing Dota. However, I don't think that was the last game. Last game, not so much. My name's Mont. With me today is Montpax, and of course, F4L. F4L, how the hell are you?
I'm doing really good. That last game might not have been a really good game, but it was certainly exciting. I mean, there was a lot of action. M5 showing that they can really turn on the pressure, snowball that lead, and they had a great draft, and they knew what they were going to do, and they executed it.
It was impressive, to say the least. We questioned the draft at the beginning. At least we saw the tri-lane, the aggro tri-lane, and we said, well, this might not work out for them. They have this support Night Stalker, which I think more so than anything, had he just stayed in lane, he wouldn't have done anything. But the rotations to mid were very impressive. And
I mean, they were losing. They were losing that aggro tri-lane pretty hard.
Yeah.
But
well, we'll have to see how things turn out. Again, no, the bans this time around, lots of troll bans, lots of Lycan bans, but, I mean, they're letting Axe through, and Moscow 5 have a chance to pick it up again here, and I think that hero's really good, man.
Was it banned in the first game?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head. Well,
reserve time.
Who knows?
There's no quick way to find it, unfortunately, just because of how actually...
We don't have the compendium's not out yet because of
yeah.
I think they according to some of the people that run the tournament, they're hoping that today is the day that the compendium does come out. Which, by the way, there's some really good sets that come with the compendium as well.
There are some really cool sets.
My brother wanted me to get him a Dazzle set. I'm like, listen, man, you're just gonna have to buy it. So.
No special treatment.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, we don't get anything from the compendium, at least.
Yeah. I'm excited, though. It's just...
yeah, it's really cool. There's a lot of cool sets.
Well, Montpax was just saying in the Skype chat that we haven't seen Juggernaut, have we? And, well, boom, there it is. First pick for Moscow 5. Good hero.
Definitely a good hero. I mean, we can talk about this all day. This hero is exceptionally strong right now. Usually we see, like, a 1-1-1 build with some stats, and then they max out the Blade Dance, then the Healing Ward. But the hero is so strong. And the hero completely revolves around his ultimate. So if you get good ults off, if you don't die before casting your ults, if you take fights intelligently, it definitely has its weaknesses. You can't fight without your ults. I mean, it's one of the few carry heroes that is honestly kind of terrible without his ultimate.
Yeah.
So, but I mean... another focal point is the Healing Ward, being able to solo Roshan. You know, it can do a tremendous amount in the team fight if it's ignored by the enemy team. Or, I mean, a lot of teams have difficulty killing it because it moves at 450 move speed, and if you have no hero with a lot of mobility, it's going to be quite difficult to kill.
They pick up the Tuskar as well, maybe to combo up and snowball and make sure Juggernaut can live at any point in time, especially without Blade Fury.
Yeah,
You're absolutely right about him,
though. Getting the Omni Slash off.
Yeah, exactly. Snowball in and then Omni Slash. You don't need a Blink Dagger if that's the case. You're right about him being super ult dependent, though. But at the same time, yeah, you mentioned your Healing Ward. As long as you can have your Healing Ward, the rest of your team can start doing work. It's the best heal in the game. I don't think they changed it in the last mini patch either.
No, they haven't.
So
I would honestly like to see a change where either they lower the movement speed because I think it's a little too fast, or they do some change where, let's say the Healing Ward's moving, it only heals for half or something. So while it's stationary, it heals for full. But if it's in movement, it only heals for half. You know, something like that. It's just too strong right now, I think. It's not completely overpowered, but it just needs a slight nerf, I think, and it will be completely fine.
Radiant team ban.
Well, maybe someday, maybe in the next big patch. I imagine Juggernaut will be touched a bit more.
I think he'll get touched.
Dire team
Axe,
ban.
maybe. I like the idea of Axe being where he is right now, but at the same time, it just... We talked about this last game. We're not going to return to it this game. It's just it's a delicate balance. Venomancer picked up for NiP, which I've only seen in core roles recently, but...
Yeah.
10 seconds.
He's sort of just
remaining.
completely fallen off as a support. Doesn't really offer too much. Definitely
seconds
better
remaining.
in that core position where he can get some items. The problem with him as a support is you
Radiant
pretty much
team
die
ban.
before you even have a chance to get off a good Poison Nova. But if you're a core, you can get some items, get tanky, maybe even get a Blink Dagger, and you can get off these good Poison Novas, so which are key to playing this hero.
Radiant
At the same
team
time,
pick.
it's very interesting to me because there's this dynamic between Venomancer and Juggernaut. Veno, I think, is one of the better heroes against Juggernaut because you can use Plague Wards to kill the healing ward, and you can also kite him around with the slows. But at the same time, I feel that Juggernaut is also good against Venomancer because if you're able to get the healing ward out after the Poison Nova, you can sort of negate all of his AoE sort of damage over time spells. So there's this weird interaction between these two heroes where they
That's the
sort of
ridiculous
counter each
thing.
other.
You're right about that. If you have the healing ward when Poison Nova goes off, like
10
it actually
seconds
just
remaining.
negates it, or at least makes it a lot less effective because
5
of how much you're going to be
seconds
healing over the
remaining.
period of time. That's actually insane that an ultimate like that can just be negated by one healing ward. So
Reserve
Well,
time.
Dazzle does come out for Moscow 5 as well, and the physical damage, the heal, like, and obviously the Grave to help Juggernaut out is pretty big. I mean, imagining a Grave, especially when he's about to Omnislash, is perfect because that just is going to change the fight for Moscow 5.
It's also going to give them some nice negative armor, which will aid in Juggernaut's Omnislash damage and give some more pushing power as well. So they're going to have both the Healing Ward and the Shadow Wave to keep these creeps alive.
What do we got next here? Brewmaster Band coming out, so that hero not going to be available along with the Axe. The other side, Ancient Apparition and Drow banned out as well. So
Yeah. I like the Drow ban. Not wanting to give the Drow with the combination of 2 ranged heroes already. I think that's a smart choice.
what do NiP go for? Era had a fantastic Shadow Fiend game in 1, but they go for the Disruptor, and I like this a lot. This is one of my favorite sports that's rarely played, or not rarely, but it's certainly not picked up as often as I think it should be. Against Tusk, it's pretty good. Glimpse
Yeah,
back
Disruptor
and-
is definitely a really good hero.
Yeah.
You almost have to change your mindset when you play against Disruptor because when you're out of position with Disruptor in the game and without Disruptor in the game is completely different. There are situations when you would be perfectly fine if Disruptor wasn't in the game, but you end up just dying because you get glimpsed into an awkward position,
5
static
seconds
stormed,
remaining.
and then kinetic field, and you just die. So it's definitely... It's one of those heroes that changes how you have to play the game.
Yeah, there are a lot of heroes like that. You could talk about positioning wise. You can mention Io in the same kind of breath, but Disruptor is one of those heroes that, and not just the glimpse is important, but I think the static storm as well. If you can get that static storm off and make sure the kinetic field is up, Jug can't get out of that thing. I mean, you gotta hit your Q button. Unfortunately, that'll be silenced. Invoker's gonna get picked up for Moscow 5, and Necromant played an amazing Invoker in the last game. Although we only saw 15 minutes of it, but he's maybe gonna play it again in the mid lane and probably go for Quaswex once more.
Yeah, he did really well in that game. I hope I get to see another Quaswex Invoker. I think it's... I don't want to say the only way to play it, because I think Exort Quas is still decent, but I think Quaswex in the current metagame is just better. And Ninjas in Pajamas, go ahead and pick up the Slark 4 era this game. So I think it's a hero that he has a lot of success on. I've seen him do quite well on the Slark. And it's very good against Jug, because you can use the ults to get out of Omnislash.
I gotta say, Era's been on a tear, and he always has. It just you talked about him in Fnatic, and you talked about how good of a farmer he was.
Yeah.
You know, it felt like sometimes he was kind of overshadowed by some of the other players on his team, but he has always been tried and true and very solid. And especially in that first game, he has the ability to carry these games hard. 700 GPM on that Shadow Fiend in the first game. The second game didn't really go his way. He got roamed down pretty hard. But Slark is definitely a hero that can take control of this game.
Radiant
He's one of the
team
few
pick.
heroes that can fight early, often, and kind of snowball out of control as well.
Let's see. So M5 most likely going to go ahead and pick an offlaner. Maybe something like a Tide or a Centaur I could see them picking in this game. I think I would prefer to see a Centaur, actually. I think it does a little bit better against the heroes that NiP have, as well as offering the Stampede, which is going to be really useful in these
10
team fights.
seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
And he should be able to secure farm.
5
They probably
seconds
could kill him with
remaining.
Disrupt Revenge and
No.
Slark. Yeah, it would be tough,
Honestly,
actually.
that tri-lane is one of the scariest
Reserve
tri-lanes you can
time.
face.
God.
Just Disruptor in general is really annoying to play against. It's
Yeah.
actually going to be a Jakiro, so they're going to go
Dire
more for
team
this
pick.
push-heavy offlaner. I
They
mean, we
need
talked
like
about,
a dual lane if they want to live, I think, and maybe even that's going to be kind of tough.
I mean, they can do the Tusk Jakiro. We've talked about that
Yeah.
before. That was something that EG sort of pioneered back right after TI, with all that negative attack speed that you get from the Sigil, as well as the Liquid Fire and Dual Breath, all providing some attack speed slows. It can be quite effective.
seconds
It's one of
remaining.
those lanes, though, that you man up and you fight them,
5
and it either goes
seconds
really well
remaining.
or you both die.
Yeah, I have a feeling it
So-
might be the latter this time around.
I mean,
5
because you can't
seconds remaining.
run away when you have these two heroes. You're pretty much committed to fighting with those attack speed slows. So
Yeah. Well, honestly, I like NIP's draft because of, I think this tri-lane, like you talked about, they might have a tough time shutting this Juggernaut down, and that's maybe going to be an issue. But other than that, I think that NIP should have a solid time. Venomancer off lane, or aggro try, safe lane Venomancer, Queen of Pain mid, maybe. Yonasim fan, I don't know. This is, he usually plays a laner, I think. He played the Slardar in the first game. We'll see how everyone decides to lane this up before we theorycraft any further.
Prepare
Well,
for battle.
For M5, they're going to head top, it looks like, and try to contest this rune.
they're going to give them the 5-man. Their 5-man is actually very strong with the Snowball. They're going to have the Snowball and then into the most likely Shadow Wave skilled from the Dazzle. So they're going to have a 5-man Shadow Wave at level 1. Although I guess you can only have 4 targets, so
Still
it'll be a
frightening.
4-man.
They're smoked up. They're ready to contest this top rune spot. And everyone is here. This could be a bloodbath if NIP try to
They
go
are
for the top rune.
definitely scared. And NiP are actually dodging this lane. They're only sending the Quap to the top lane.
And they're aggro trying, I think. I don't think they're...
Yeah, they're aggro tri lane.
I think they're... It's not necessarily dodging. They just feel like they have a better chance of getting kills in the bottom lane. However... there's a ward here. They know that they're walking
30
through the jungle. So
seconds
really
to go.
smart ward placement, and also M5 gets spotted out. They're going to give this top rune spot away. However, this is going to leave NIP to get the bottom rune spot for themselves. So for NIP, your Dire team, Arrow playing the Slark. Well, if Seal Kid playing your Vengeful Spirit, Hanskin on your Disruptor. In the mid lane, it's going to be 8 Mother currently on the Venomancer. Top lane, Yoda on the Queen of Pain to round it out. Now NIP tied 1-1 here in this best of 3 series up against M5.
And
The
then
battle begins.
for M5, we're going to have, in the top lane, we're going to have Slander playing the Jakiro. Mid lane's going to be Necroman playing the Invoker. Bottom lane, we're going to have S-Queen playing the Tuskar, ZXC on the Juggernaut, and PGG on the Dazzle.
So tri-lane versus tri-lane, and, well, they're going to have some good snowballs here. Otherwise, this tri-lane could get out of hand quickly, I think. We will
They're
see
actually
a
level 1
smoke.
smoking.
Yeah,
this is
this
quite
is-
interesting.
They have no glimpse skilled yet. They will have magic missile. They're going to head towards mid. This could be a pretty easy kill if they can get in range of the glimpse. Bottom lane, Era is going to be left out high and dry here, but this means that if you're Necroman, you should be playing pretty far back, honestly. And he's going to be under his tower currently. We'll have to wait until he walks up here and see if they can get anything done.
I would imagine by this point it should be communicated to him that no one has shown on the map as far
Gale's
as
going to go. Magic Missile's about to fly as well. They're not going to use Glimpse. They actually use Kinetic Field to try to get this kill, and they should get this first blood. Cold Snap's going to go. Seal Kid should be careful, and they will pick it up. It's going to be 8 Mother grabbing it. Nice rotation. Good first blood coming out for NIP.
Yeah, really nice rotation from NiP. Maybe playing a little bit too aggressively on the Invoker. Knowing that both supports hadn't showed anywhere, he must have suspected something was going to happen in the mid lane. It's really easy to gank. They can get a setup from the Venomancer with the Gale like we saw there. But really nice play from NiP. Doing something that's probably completely unexpected for M5.
And that actually provides Venomancer his bottle plus 200 extra gold on top of that. And they move top lane with Yonosum Fan. And they're going to have a TP'd up Slark. So they're actually going to just make sure this aggro tri lane is now kaput. And they'll send Yonosum Fan down bottom. Yonosum Fan, rather.
I think they thought that it was going to be an aggro tri lane actually coming up from M5, sorry. So wanting to dodge that, sending the Slark to the bottom lane. They really want to secure Slark his early farm. He's not a hero that does too well in tri versus tri situations. So really wanting him to have a solid start against this M5 team. And they're just going to swap the lanes around and get him that farm.
And this is good because the Queen of Pain offlane will not have a tough time against this. Well, she might, but I don't think she'll die anyway because you really have Poison Touch and you have Snowball, and that's great, but that's not going to be enough to lock down a Queen of Pain if she levels up her Blink, which she certainly should be, I think, or at least getting an extra point in it. It's something. Meanwhile,
the first point of Blink gives you 1300 range, so
that's right. They changed it, didn't they?
Yeah, they changed
it's just the cooldown, right? Okay.
It's a very good level 1 skill now. It actually is 1300 now, so it's pretty insane range.
It's a big range.
No gold.
Queen of Pain coming down bottom and base damage of 63, 60 for ZXC. So this could be interesting to see who actually does get the CS in this lane. Scream of Pain's going to go, and Yonosum Fan probably will get a bottle, I imagine, and be able to pick up those runes too. So
and
they're gonna swap these lanes around.
They're gonna rotate all 3 heroes into the top lane, really wanting to make sure that Slark does not have an easy time with these early last hits.
I'm gonna see ZXC and
they actually rotate the entire lane.
Yeah. They send down bottom. Yonosum Fan's in trouble. We'll avoid that right click, the liquid fire coming out, taking a poison touch. He's in some trouble. Maybe he can salve up after the poison touch, and probably has to. Will do so. ZXC top lane. Now Era's just like, please, can you guys just let me get some farm? Come on. So
yeah, these lane switches have cost M5 a lot more than NiP, though. They were able to get that nice smoke onto the mid lane, so their transition into the top lane was pretty easy. They got a kill in the mid lane, didn't have to use any TP scrolls. Unfortunately for M5, I believe they TP'd all 3 members of this tri lane.
They did, yeah.
No. I don't think Tuskar TP'd. I think he walked.
Maybe walked, yeah, I'm not sure.
But they TP'd the 2 members up, and then they also TP'd the Jakiro down. So using 3 TPs in order to successfully rotate their lanes around.
This lane is actually not as easy for Yonosum Fan because of the liquid fire and dual breath. He really needs some sort of regen. Era is going to pounce out of the ice shards. They're going to try to snowball underneath the tower here. And they're diving deep. He is going to pop his salve off. There's 3 heroes. Blade Fury is going to go kinetic field as well. Era is in trouble. He is dead. The Blade Fury out of the kinetic field. And it's just enough to get the kill. It's just that easy. Now they're going to check Hansken. He is... he is stuck. He actually is going to maybe glimpse, but even that is not going to help. But here comes 8 Mother jumping in with the Venomous Gale, but he only has right-click damage now. Hansken's going to fall. More Poison Sting coming out. Do they have enough damage here? No Magic Missile. They need the Wave of Terror, it looks like. Now the Snowball going to come in. They're going to back away. I'm surprised they're leaving. They have Era. They just want to avoid the Snowball. Goes through onto Steel Kid. But there's 3 heroes here. Necroman is rotated up as well. The EMP goes, but they don't need it. The Shadow Wave comes out as well. All of the heroes are top with the exception of the Jakiro down bottom. Screen getting caught out. This is a damn battle here. It's a bloodbath. Carnage everywhere. Screen about to take a fall. The right click, the Essence Shift, he avoids it with just a Snowball. He should fall here regardless, but here comes the Queen of Pain jumping in Shadow Strike. They do get the kill on Screen. Slark is trying to get back into the fray. Wave of Terror. Scream of Pain gets the kill. They're starting to turn it around. Yonosum Fan looking for more. How far will they dive for this? Maybe not that far. PGG. Glimpse is going to go in. Magic Missile, Kinetic Field as well. Blink, Scream of Pain. They get the kill. Now Necroman trying to pop off the EMP. There's the Slark pouncing away. Still gets the EMP going. Queen of Pain does go down to the tower. Dual Breath now onto 8 Mother. He's gone too far. Ice Shards are up. He's going to get snowballed. He's dead. Oh my god. What a damn battle. Jesus.
What is going on right now?
I don't know, man.
I mean, they're fighting. They're fighting in this area against a hasted Venomancer, and somehow they miraculously just pull out 3 kills. They almost get all their heroes away. They end up trading a couple of kills back and forth. But NiP going a little bit too aggressive, trying to get some counter kills. And that was a really solid fight from N5. So
yeah.
They're just showing off their early game prowess in all 3 of these games, honestly.
Now, M5 getting about 1,000 gold off the back end of that engagement. They killed every single NiP hero at least once.
Yeah.
Which was impressive, so... Yeah, and on top of that, Juggernaut just is going to continue to farm. I mean, they miss out on a lot of CS there, yes, but at the same time...
Both teams do.
It does, exactly. It actually benefits M5 so much, and 8 Mother misses his Gale. Unfortunately, Snowball's going to come in. Tornado comes through. Cold Snap, Ice Shards, he is dead. And it's going to be M5 securing yet another kill, and that's a big target to kill. He is probably one of the most farmed, if not the most farmed hero for NiP.
And in both of these games, they've done a really good job having this Quaswex Invoker just sit mid and ganking for him. It's one of the easiest mid heroes to gank for. He has a setup in the Tornado. He can even just use a Cold Snap to set up, just so that you can get a little bit closer to use one of your disables. It's a really easy hero to gank for, and they've done a really nice job rotating their heroes around to make sure that this Quaswex Invoker has a really solid early game.
Yeah. Well, now NiP looking to get Slander here, who's underneath the tower. Arrow's going to take another Liquid Fire hit, though, and this is tough. They're actually not going to dive. Steel Kid's going to check and maybe just ward here quickly before heading back towards that bottom lane. TP coming in from screen. Don't know if they saw it. Snowball is coming through. Arrow's actually just leaving. Top lane. Jumping away is the Queen of Pain. Now they're going to jump in. Snowball should be there in just a second for screen if they want to. Macro Power on the ground, and Hansken is going to die to this. And the right click as well. Pounce away from Era. They don't want to go any further. Tornado does not connect. It's just off the mark there. And just really good rotations from screen. The Tuskar is working out tremendously, which did not really work out as much in the first game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he was a Night Stalker in the last game, so
yeah.
Definitely showing off his ability to be in the right place at the right time, and as a support player, that's probably the most important quality that you can have, especially in the early game.
Enemy skill's going to connect on a Necroman. He's going to pop up the EMP. Cold Snap as well. 8 Mother's actually in some trouble here. He has no mana left, and he is going to die. He just dove too far for that. The EMP just destroyed him, decimated him. And Tornado's going to go through as well. Hansken is in trouble, and it's all falling apart for NiP. They lose 2 heroes, one being your core Venomancer mid. They're chasing after Oh, the snipe! Oh, it almost hit with the Ice Shards. That would have been incredible.
That was really close to being the death of the Venge, and NiP look a little frazzled right now.
They really do.
That was a gank that they had no business trying that gank with the Venomancer Disruptor onto the Invoker. That kill had no chance of success, and they end up just feeding 2 kills away to M5. It just seems like they're playing a little bit outside of themselves right now. They really just need to calm down. You know, the aggression right now is real from M5. I mean, M5 is putting on a lot of aggression right now.
Yeah.
But they just need to slow the game down. They need 1 or 2 good counter ganks, and I think that's how they get back into this game. They shouldn't try to match the aggression right now from M5 because they're way ahead at this point. They need to wait for M5 to make a mistake, maybe dive too far, overextend a little bit, and then, you know, capitalize on that mistake. And they have the heroes to do it. I mean, Glimpse is a really good spell at capitalizing on mistakes. And I think that's what they have to do at this point.
They need to kind of rate it in like they did in the first game. They knew they had a game plan. They knew what they needed to accomplish. They knew what M5 needed to accomplish. And, well, I mean, it's just honestly, it comes down to them. Oh, well, hold that thought. The Omni Slash came through from ZXC as the Queen of Pain, I think, blinked away at the last second. Maybe not. You know, I think she was about to, and the ZXC just destroyed her with the Omni Slash. And so it's another kill going their way. And it's really getting rough for NiP at this point. Era's down bottom, top lane. Hansken's here. Will they have any other rotations? I believe Jonas and Fane. Where is he at? Oh, he just got destroyed by the Omni Slash. This is awkward. Hansken walks right towards PGG. Connect field is going to go. Jonas and Fane TP's in. Now the snowball going to go through as well. They have Sonic Wave. They might pop it off. He's looking for it. There's the Shadow Strike. Jonas and Fane's trying to do something, but Hansken's already dead to the Blade Fury. Can blink, Scream of Pain. Sonic Wave, Scream of Pain not doing enough damage. GXC survives the Ice Shards. Jonas and Fane has no blink now. He's bottle charges, but he's down for 8 seconds. Scream of Pain not enough to get the kill. Shadow Wave comes through. More than enough damage. They lose 2 heroes mid lane. NiP drastically trying to do something. They're going to push this tier 1 tower middle and try to at least get a trade out of this.
And they're actually going to get this top tower with the use of the healing ward, the liquid fire also, and they easily secure that tier 1 in the top lane.
This is getting rough here for NiP. Slark not getting off to a good start. And they're going to try to at least maybe take mid, but the EMP's got to come through. Seal Kid loses all of his mana. It's a big problem. And
again, NiP are struggling in the early game. M5 taking control of the jungle. They do go ahead and smoke up 4 of their members. Maybe looking for the kill onto the
Radiant's
Quap,
bottom
but that's
tower is
probably
under
not the
attack.
easiest kill to go for.
Well, they're going to snowball anyways, and yeah, they just
Wow.
come in and kill him immediately. They don't need Omni Slash. They don't need
It's a
Blade
Shadow
Fury.
Wave.
And the Shadow Wave destroys, decimates that poor Queen of Pain.
Radiant's bottom tower.
How much damage does Shadow Wave do? It did 392 damage.
It's absurd. I love this Dazzle Tusk
I like
combo,
this
actually.
Dazzle Tusk combination. It's pretty insane. You just get a bunch of heroes in the snowball, instantly cast the heal afterwards, and it...
Glimpse, but good Blade Fury coming out from ZXC. And make sure he avoids the glimpse back home or wherever he was, the top lane. Omni Slash goes onto 1, kills Hanskin. 8 Mothers getting chased down, phase boots. The Gale's gonna go, but doesn't matter. The right click and the Ice Shards are more than enough. ZXC gets 2, the double kill going his way. A mega kill streak for your Juggernaut at 11 minutes into the game. Meanwhile, mid lane, PGG is man fighting Seal Kid, the battle of the supports. And I think PGG probably would have won had he stayed. Air's going to come through. He doesn't want any part of this either. He's going to back away. Walking in is Screen. They might see him here, but he has Snowball. He has Ice Shards. Screen looking for maybe potential engagement here. He's going to... Air's going to try to get out of here. He probably will just pounce up to the high ground. Or just juke them and then head into the river, so...
Yeah. And this game, it's getting harder and harder for NiP because they keep bleeding kills. Unfortunately for them, and...
They might get Necroman here. Scream of Pain's gonna go. Sonic Wave, yeah, they'll pick him up finally. Well played. Finally, they get something going their way. Necroman, the second highest net worth, a pretty high value target. So they'll pick him up.
Yeah, they just need a couple more kills like that, and they can slowly get themselves back into this game.
How much are they down by? It's not as much as you would expect. 5,000 net worth, although at 10,
I mean,
12
at 10
minutes,
minutes.
yeah,
Dyer's middle
pretty bad.
tower is under attack.
Almost
And they're
7,500
gonna-
experience as well.
Yeah, they're gonna get this mid tower, I believe. It's just so hard to defend against the Jakiro's Liquid Fire. It's not even about, sure, they nerfed the damage to it, but the attack speed so onto the
Dyer's
tower
structures are fortified.
is so important when you're pushing.
They just keep taking objectives. All the tier 1's now gone for NiP. M5 just balling and barreling down these lanes, but... I mean, this will give Eris some more room to farm in the bottom lane. He's split pushing now. He's almost going to have Drone, but... lacks in comparison to what the Juggernaut will have pretty soon. He has currently a Mask of Madness and a Yasha that just flew out to him. That's how much of a good time he's having. He's leading the net worth by about 2.5k.
And they're not even done. They're just going to keep pushing down this mid lane. I mean, there's no response right now from NiP. NiP are desperately trying to split push, you know, Eris on the bottom lane, but he doesn't do anything at this point. He's not a threat to the buildings.
Walrus Punch goes, and Arrow is thinking about fighting, decides against it. Mid lane now coming in. Omni Slash goes. They kill one. They kill two. Double kill with the level 2 ultimate coming out for ZXC. Actually, might have been level 1. Jonas and Fane coming in. There's going to be the Scream of Pain. Now the Glimpse back in, but Blade Fury goes, and actually, they just can't get this kill. ZXC holding on to that Blade Fury just to the last second, making sure that he doesn't get caught out with the Glimpse. That's beautiful play coming out from M5 and
9
Juggernaut.
and 1 on this Juggernaut.
He's
he's had a phenomenal game.
What's the spree now? It's not godlike yet, but I think the next one it will be. He's going S and Y, by the way.
This is really unfortunate for NiP. And honestly, it's going to take a miracle at this point to come back, just because of the heroes that M5 have. It's not like the first game where you have these heroes that... It's not like the first game in the fact that you can just stall the game out, and at a certain point you just win. They don't really have that this game.
They don't have arrow farming mid.
Yep.
And they don't have the armor reduction strat. This Slardar. They're missing a lot of these heroes. I mean, like, these are good heroes, and they can snowball, but when it comes to the later stages of the game, it's tough.
Quap, honestly.
What would you pick in
Quap-
this situation, rather than the Quap, though?
I think you just pick a traditional
Radiant's top
offlaner.
tower is under attack.
You know, something like a Centaur, a Tide Hunter. You know, something that gives you a lot of AoE teamfight presence. Sure, Quap has a lot of AoE damage, but you have no disable.
Kinetic field, screen, glimpse. Is there a glimpse? Hanskin had one. He didn't want to use it, though. He could have glimpsed back. Actually, how does that work? If you snowball while you're glimpsed, does that... I wonder what the interaction is with that.
That's a good question. You mean like if you get glimpsed and then you cast Snowball?
Exactly.
So you're glimpsed mid-Snowball?
Yes. It's like a disruption. I don't know.
I would imagine nothing happens. Or maybe the snowball goes and then afterwards you get glimpse back.
Yeah, that'd be weird. Oh, Snowball, speaking of which, they're going to head over to 8 Mother now. He's going to get stunned up. He pops up a Plague Word. He can maybe get his Poison Nova off if he wants to. He throws up the Venomous Scale, but he's still going to die regardless. Macro Power put down for good measure. He actually secures the kill. And they just keep losing heroes one after another, which means little by little they're losing ground in this game. They've lost the tier 2 tower mid. They're going to TP up top. Arrow will take this tower, but he's going to get tornadoed and EMP'd. He's actually out of mana. He can still Dark Pack, but he actually sticks up. He's going to Shadow Dance to TP now. They have no way of locking him down anymore. So had they used that tornado while he was TPing, it would have been fine. But good TP from Arrow just to survive.
Of course, it would be an M5 member that has the previous kill record for Juggernaut at 15 minutes. 11 in 15 minutes on a single hero. That's insane. Slander could be in some trouble.
No, that Static Storm's not really doing that much damage, unfortunately. They can glimpse him back. They will do so, but where's the follow-up? They have nobody here. Ice Path goes in. Air's going to miss his pounce. Jumps right into the Ice Path. Dark packs it off. PGG is here as well. They want at least one kill. Macro Power on the deck does nothing. Now they're going to try to TP away. Sonic Wave, they don't have it. He actually had no mana to use it. He had it on off cooldown, but no mana.
A little bit unfortunate there. They are going to M5 is going to get the top tower, so trading the Dazzle for the top tower, you know, it is something for NiP, but not really what you want. And
Omni Slash? Did he use it? Yeah, he used Omni Slash,
but he Dark Packed, or he Shadow Danced it.
Yeah. Kind of a waste.
I think he probably thought it was still on cooldown because I think it just came up from that top. From when he used it top to TP out.
This is a good try. 8 Mother, speaking of which, Ice Shards. He does get his Poison Nova. Nice swap from Seal Kid. And Seal Kid will fall, but at least they keep the Venomancer alive. By the way, that Poison Nova went while they were in Snowball, so it didn't connect onto anybody, however it might have looked. That's actually rather unfortunate.
Yeah, and if we go ahead and take a look at Golden Experience, nearly up to 10,000 gold, sitting at about 8,000. If we look at the experience, also hovering at, you know, about between 5,000 and 7,000. So M5 definitely have a strong control of this game. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see the Juggernaut try to kill Roshan soon, or if they make an attempt at Roshan with the Healing Word, the Mask of Madness. He can kill it extremely fast.
He's gonna get a
and there's
double
almost
damage.
no risk. It's just a low risk play. Yeah.
Mask of Madness plus Healing Ward, he'll be able to take it pretty much on his own if they want.
Yeah. And he won't take any damage, which is the important part.
Surprised they don't have any armor reduction on this team. They could get a medallion or something on the PGG, but they decided against it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, regardless, they're going to push into the tier 2 tower bottom. ZXC
and they're going to get
the
this
way.
without any contest.
This tier 2 tower is dead as hell. They killed this quickly. Liquid
Sacrament
Fire. Oh my gosh.
Just finished his Orchid, so that's a really big item pickup. He's now going to be able to go hunting, try to get some solo kills. Has the Cold Snap invoked, so he's going to probably Cold Snap, Orchid, and then use the EMP to try to secure a solo kill.
Era and... Oh, there's the Orchid coming out, and he couldn't Dark Pack it off in time, and he's done. Necroman getting his first kill, and it already starts to pay off.
Yeah. Now he is going to know... That was the first time that he'd used the Orchid, so...
Yep.
Everyone is going to be on watch, knowing that the Orchid is now present. They have a lot of sentries down, surprisingly, considering how far behind they are in this game.
They had their entire jungle sentryed up not too long ago. But
Yeah, it was.
M5 now heading up to the high ground. They want to try to push and at least take and put some damage onto the tier 3 tower. They are so far ahead at this point that they might be able to get away with this. Static Storm is available if they want to pop it off. Screen still has a Snowball plus Warwick's Punch. Doesn't get Sigil, by the way. They're going to go in. They are diving the base. 8 Mother in some trouble. Omni Slash is going to go swap out. It doesn't bounce to any other heroes. ZXE, he's going to use his Blade Fury and try to get out. They can glimpse him, but the Eul Scepter stops any glimpse attempt from Hanskin. Really nice. They could have gotten him back into the base, but they glimpse back screen. Static Storm might go. Another Snowball going in as well, I believe. There it goes. Era's going to get caught out. Static Storm going through. The Poison Nova did get off. ZXC kind of low. He has no healing ward. Sonic Wave going. Taking Slander and ZXC down. They're both going to fall. Slander, he is still going to be graved up, but he should fall in the end. But Hans get already down. Buyback coming in from Jonas and Fane. There's going to be the Tornado coming through. EMP to follow up. No. Decides against it. He's going to Ghost Walk away. Good hold from NiP, all things considered.
I mean, they do end up getting the tower relatively low.
Era doesn't have enough damage, I don't think. He's going to pounce away. Swap out. He doesn't have Shadow Dance. They'll get Seal Kit instead. It's a nice consolation prize.
These ice shards are unbelievable.
Jonas and Fane. He's going to be able to blink away. Slander looking for another ice path. There's the Orchid going back in, but the Tornado will connect, and this is going to be Jonas and Fane. Yeah, he's going to go down. Another Orchid connecting, and Jonas and Fane dies back. A double kill for Necroman. He's on a mega kill spree. Yeah.
And at this point, they are so far ahead right now that even with buybacks, they're going to have trouble defending this base. They already used... How many buybacks was that? Was that
just
two,
one,
I believe?
Maybe just one?
No, it was just one, actually, on the Quap.
Jonas and Fane brought back in. They're going to put some more damage on this tower. The Liquid Fire goes. Ice Path, the Yule Scepter onto 8 Mother. Macropyre as well. No Poison Nova. Gets swapped out. Seal Kid doing a really good job this game of keeping his teammates alive, but they are limping right now at the very best. Tier 3 tower is going to go. Glimpse back in. ZXC is here. He's walking right up. He's going to pop his Mask of Madness. Omni Slash up in 7 seconds. And if he uses it, he'll have to be careful. Mask of Madness might run out by the time the Omni Slash is done. Static Storm doesn't connect on anybody. They almost got them, but the kinetic field was a bit too late. They walk out, they walk back in. Now they have a mech. They're going to go for this Rax. The melee Rax is gone. The range Rax now getting assaulted. Dual Breath, and they want to clear the creep wave. A lot of Plague Wards, but they're not doing any damage. Ice Path comes in, and a set of Rax at 22 minutes now done. Comes back onto Slander, but they might just leave him. Orchid is going to come through. Slander in some trouble. Great Grave. He'll try to TP away. Is he going to live? Swap out? No. He almost completed that TP, but they do get the kill. That was closer than maybe it should have been.
Yeah. But I mean, one kill for your Rex, that is not a worthwhile trade. So unfortunately for NiP, they're falling further and further behind. I think M5 is probably going to look towards Roshan now that they have the pressure on the mid lane. I don't think NiP at this point can contest, but if you don't contest, it's almost a guaranteed another set of Rex, and I don't think they can afford to lose another one. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't at this point.
I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And they had an okay hold there, and they pushed them outside of the base, and then they just died again. They got caught out too much, and
they just chased a little bit too far against the Orchid from Necroman.
I think at this point, now that there's a mech, there's so much survivability. Era just can't do anything. This Juggernaut's almost unkillable because of the Snowball as well as the Blade Fury. The only time he did go down was Poison Nova.
He has a BKB as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's not dying anytime soon.
Yeah, he's not going to die. Yeah, and they're going to go for Roshan. The smart play. This is just really safe, smart play from N5. I'm surprised they actually didn't do this before taking the mid set of Rex, but it ended up working out for them. So they're going to end up getting this. They just probably just transition that into a bottom lane push.
This is going to be...
And it's going to be very difficult to deal with the Juggernaut. He not only has 2 lives, but a BKB.
He can wait to use that BKB. His Blade Fury, I'm sure.
His second life, probably. He's probably going to just use
no, Jonas and Fan is going to die. He goes to the right click, not even the Soul Burn. Necroman is unstoppable, now with a Force Staff under his foot as well. Top lane, they are pushing. The split push is going to come through. But by the time they're done with this tier 2 tower, their Raxes are going to be assaulted. They do no damage to buildings.
Sure, they might be able to kill the creep waves with Dark Pact and some nukes, but they don't do any damage to buildings.
All right,
it's going to take them forever to kill these buildings.
The Poison Nova Aghanim Scepter is coming out. They got to do something here. Unfortunately, with ZXC and his BKB plus Blade Fury, I'm not sure how much they'll be able to do. Era is still pushing top lane. ZXC's going to walk in. He's going to Omni Slash 8 Mother. 8 Mother just bought that. He gets swapped out, luckily. 8 Mother is still going to die. The Poison Nova gets off, but only onto Necroman. And ZXC dives well past the tier 4 towers. They got 4 kills or 3 kills within the span of about 5 seconds. Era finally TP's back home, only to find the rest of his team is dead as hell. And, well, M5 will try to complete the game by pushing into this tier 3 tower. And honestly, they've played a superb game. And this is a game that many thought would go the way of NiP, I'm sure. Maybe the second
and that's
upset.
going to be the GG call from NiP. Really well played from M5. I really like this draft. I think there's a lot of synergy between all of these heroes, especially the two supports, the Dazzle and the Tuskar. They have that nice synergy with, you put a bunch of heroes in the snowball, then they all pop out. You get that huge heal bomb that destroys all of the heroes from NiP, and they just didn't have an answer for the aggression in these past 2 games. Sure, they might get some CS and some farm, but they're just dying all over the place. Maybe they should have gotten something more defensive. You know, like I said, maybe one of those AoE team fighting offlaners, or possibly even a more defensive support. Maybe something like an Earthshaker. I think Earthshaker could have been a really strong pick for them this game. It just sort of felt like they didn't have anything to respond to the aggression from M5.
What felt like a perfect game for Moscow 5 turns into them winning the series 2-1. They'll move on. They'll play My Insanity sometime in the near future for the winner's bracket. Yeah. And NiP go down to the loser's bracket as well. But they still have another chance. Again, it's a double elimination qualifier. And this isn't even the main group stages, guys. We're just trying to figure out who the last 2 teams are in a DotaPit. And those teams will play up against the best of the best in the West. So, thank you guys so much for joining us today. A bit of an early finish here, but that's fine by us. Game goes 3 games, a lot of fun to watch nonetheless, and well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Again, my name is Mont. With me today, my statsman Mothpax, and of course F4L as well. Make sure you guys check us out on Twitter at Mothpax, at MontDota, at F4LDota. Check out DotaPit.com and Twitter.com/DotaPit as well. And shout out to our sponsors as always. Guys, there is an Arcana giveaway that you should check out. Go over to Gamersbook and search Gamersbook on Steam. And the Steam community page for Gamersbook will have an Arcana giveaway. Instructions are there. All you have to do is just sign up. Go ahead and check that out. We'll be back, I believe, tomorrow for Vega versus Complexity. And I'll take a look and see what time that's at. And I believe that will be our last of the first round games. And then we'll have the second round games coming to you as soon as possible. So, let's see. For Vega versus Complexity, 1900 CET. That is, let's see, I think noon Eastern. I'm not sure. Regardless, we're going to be done here, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see y'all later.